Hi there, Tim Fairfield, Keysight Technologies. It's a little bit different video. I had a little problem. I didn't have a demo video for Mipi DeFi, and I gave my buddy Gabe Martin a call down in the States, and he happened to have a Raspberry Pi running with a display, a one-lane display board, and having some issues, and he managed to solder down so that we can show you the protocol decode first and an issue we ran into trying to set things up. So this is an ongoing debug. I happen to be going on vacation, so rather than halt this up, this gives you some ideas, some of the Mipi debug tools that we do have available. Gabe's going to keep probing on this, and maybe he'll have some more to share later on, and we'll basically come back to that in another video. But I think it'd be cool for everybody to see a debug session going on, trying to figure out how to get things set up and try to figure out. And what we did discover is there was an interference signal in a repetitive state later on in the video when we filtered things down to see, it was messing up some of the data bits and dropping the signal, making it difficult to decode. So anyway, we'll give it a watch.
So we are probing a Raspberry Pi.
Yeah.
It is a DSI screen.
Yeah.
And on the back, I have it connected. My soldering skills are so bad. I'm going to pause it.
So you have the differential. So you get the differential probe, or the active.
I use two differential active probes because to do the decoder, you have to have it single-ended. This is a one-lane Mipi display.
Oh.
And so I have used one of my micro probe adapters to just tie it to ground.
Yeah.
And then the other micro probe adapter is actually probing the pair differentially.
Yeah.
I realized after I got it all soldered in that I should have probably made some different choices. And you know what? Ultimately, I could go back and probably fix that. But I have got everything connected, and I'm going into the positive side of both of these amplifiers.
Yeah.
And then I have the clock probed with just an entirely different probe, the N2752A, because that's what I had on hand.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if we go back to the scope, get it all plugged back in, I feel like part of this is just like what the real world signals look like, and part of it is just we're being hampered by my actual abilities.
Oh, yeah. But you're getting some decent quality signal there.
Yeah, so if I hit run here, it's gonna start up, and then boom, we get as it boots. So nothing's happening right now. The screen's blank, so you're getting just empty. And now we're starting to get a couple of little packets. You can see on the camera that it's just barely booting up. And let's see, when I connect my I got my little controller here to get me into the service.
Yeah. So Linux is throwing some things onto the screen. So there are
a couple of little pieces.
Yeah, there are some packets happening.
Yeah, so then if we just open up anything, there should be an intro. And then once you get video going on the screen, it really fills up the data bus.
Yeah, so you can tell like low-res mode.
Yeah, it's because it's only one. So I looked it up, and this particular display only uses one pair. So it only uses one data pair. It doesn't use multiple data pairs.
There you go.
I did zoom in though. You can see we're going in and out of low power state, and you can see the data packets.
Yeah, do a stop on one of those, and we can just look at the packet. Just stop the scope.
Yep.
There we go. Go into place the blue line over the. You've got. There's a packet.
Yep. There we go. We got a packet right there. If I go back, we got a H-sync event, and then boom. So we're lined up in time. We can go in, see what the data ID was. Let's see if I can get to a better, slightly better demo here. Here we go. This should
going on there.
Let's see if I can get a nice, good, deep capture.
Yeah, the probing is tricky for sure.
Maybe I need to zoom in a little bit. I haven't gotten any packed pixels. That's what I'm looking for. The 24-bit packed pixel.
You probably
can see
trigger on it.
You can see it's trying to do it right there. But let's see. It's occasionally getting an error. Unexpected end of packet.
Oh.
That is the thing that I fight with the most when I'm doing Mipi decoding.
What if you move the thresholds?
Yeah, so let's go in here, and I was playing with that right before you got home.
Yeah. And the thing is, I'm not that familiar with this, with the manual setup, yeah.
So I had done manual setup to try to hit the thresholds. If I...
What's this, 500? So that seems a bit high.
If we throw a marker, why only markers? Okay, so what you want on Mipi is the top threshold to be firmly in the low power zone, the middle threshold to be somewhere between low power and high speed, and the bottom threshold to be in the middle of the high speed sections.
There's some dirt in there too, you can see if you zoom in on it.
Yeah, if I was to go in a little bit more. Yes. Yep. So we're fighting. Yeah. That was one of my, so I was thinking, this was one of my, I was not sure if I should zoom in or mess with this too much. I'm just going to hit auto set here.
Yeah, try auto set while it's running.
Yeah. Let's zoom out a little bit. Okay.
It did pick good ranges, or it seems to have. Null packet.
Yeah, it got pretty good ranges here.
You could look at where the protocol decode breaks and then zoom in on that to see where your triggering fell apart, but
the triggering's working good. It's the
or the packet decode fell apart.
Yeah, where let's see.
If you look at the
here.
Null pack.
So if I zoom in right here, what happened?
I had some crap on. Look at that. You see that? Yeah. It's
just such a. Yeah. It's.
Kind of de-embedding that. Maybe the probe isn't. What's the bandwidth of the probe?
The probe is plenty. I think what has happened is I could redo my probing. I could redo the way I've connected it and pull my soldered in probes off and put one solder in probe on the positive and one on the minus.
Yeah.
And there's a ground right beside each one.
Yeah.
And do it that way.
Clearly,
I didn't do it that way first time because I was trying to, I don't know. It was my first time doing it, honestly.
Yeah.
On this board.
No, it looks decent. It's almost there. And
it's close.
It seems like it's just
a little noisy.
There's
this noise right here.
But that noise, there's a regular heartbeat of noise, which is crosstalk, right? It's coming in on the wonder if your power supply was better. I know there's power.
I mean, this is a Raspberry Pi. It's terrible. The power supply is terrible.
Oh yeah. So that's probably what it. But this is the thing they would need to debug: that repetitive burst of information. And what is the frequency of that burst? Like you just pointed out, which I initially didn't notice. It seems to be very regular. What's the frequency of that? If you zoom way in on it, maybe we can digitally filter it out. I know it sounds silly, but it might work. Like you just look at one of the wave, like just zoom in on that bursty thing that happens all the way, and then look at the sine wave that it's created by it, and it gives you an idea of the frequency of it. Not its frequency, but like it's
and I was going to say we could just band limit this thing and say
you could that's a start.
Custom brick wall filter for.
It might kill all the signal, but
yeah, probably 400 megahertz.
Oh, look how clean that is. No, it's but now you can see it really well.
Yeah. Oh man, here we go. 400 megahertz. Now we're really seeing it. Okay.
You definitely are seeing it, but maybe it'll.
Let's back out.
Yeah, that becomes very obvious that something is going. But that's showing us there's something that making this
like,
possibly flaky.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't perform not enough edges. Okay. But this is how you go about it.
This is exactly how you go about it.
Yeah, and they'll have the same challenges, probing and...
They will have the exact same challenges. Now we got a mess on our hands. We might have filtered out our edges, hadn't we?
Probably. Yeah, I probably filtered too much.
Let's see, if I go back and do protocol decode and just say auto setup now with this.
Do it.
Yeah, you can see how I get these rent pulses that aren't even making it.
That's too much. Maybe make it double the bandwidth.
Aggressive. Oh, okay. Here we go. It's trying.
Okay.
It's trying. It's still getting thrown off by these.
That's an ugly looking thing, and it's very obvious. It's crosstalk. It could be, or something else. And it, could be, because everything, it's starting to look like something. But yeah, this is what people would go through probing. So this is an ongoing debug session, and as we've seen here, we've got the Mipi decoder set up. We've got things probed for a single lane Mipi M5 device. We can do obviously more lanes if we probe more. And we did discover an interference signal that is repeating, and that's something else to be investigated as well. That's probably something you may run into on your designs. I'd like to thank Gabe Martin for taking the time to tear up his Raspberry Pi board and hopefully working his soldering skills. But anyway, those are the challenges there. And if there's enough interest on this video, we might post something else as a follow-on and give you an update. Thanks again for watching, and have a good day.